back to a new video. In today's video, I want to chat about how I prepare my body for pregnancy. I've been wanting to make this video for quite a while because I've been adapting a lot of new habits and routines and rituals and tools into my life to prepare my body the most for pregnancy. Because if you are new here or if you have missed this by any chance, I got pregnant last October. This was a very unexpected pregnancy. I ended up having a miscarriage and a month later got pregnant again. This also ended up into a miscarriage, and I think throughout this journey I have realized a couple things. The first thing is your body's going to go through a lot even being pregnant, so I want to make sure that I feel my absolute best. Second, the quality of your health really determines your egg quality and also the sperm quality. So obviously getting into this, anything that I can do right now into my power is something that I really want to embrace and do. And then a third one thing I learned is that I really want to have a family and I want to have kids. But I am taking a little bit of a break of trying to conceive right now. Max and I decided to wait until the winter because I just need to catch a break mentally and physically, but that does not mean that I'm not preparing my body. Also, this is not going to be a one man's job. This is also my partner's job. Max is following along on everything that I'm going to discuss today. So definitely get your partner involved in there as well, because it's not just onto the woman to, have a healthy egg and to improve your health and improve your body. I am obviously not a doctor, but I want to share some things that I'm implementing for myself that I have gained from doing tons and tons of research, reading a lot of books, talking to a lot of doctors, talking to a lot of other friends, and that I want to share right here. So the very first thing where we started was get our blood work done. We already do this like twice a year, but I think it is so important to have an understanding of your baseline of your health, to see where your nutrients levels are, your vitamins level, your overall health, your cholesterol, and also your hormones. So I asked my functional doctor also for a in-depth hormonal panel, so I know exactly where my thyroid is at, my estrogen. Having this knowledge is really important because then you can actually know which areas you need to improve on. The second one is another tool that I found very, very, very useful in my daily life, and it's actually tracking my health metrics. I use the ring con. I mean, the ring just looks like a beautiful piece of jewelry. It always looks great with whatever I'm wearing. I got the gold one. This tracks my activity levels, my recovery, my sleep, and then also my cycle. And that has been so incredibly helpful. Getting an understanding of your cycle is obviously the ultimate pregnancy prep. The ring also has a partner feature, which I really love, because women's health, fertility, and cycle tracking, all of that can sometimes feel like something you carry on your own. So being able to share my insight with Max has made me feel like we're so much more in this journey together. It's also been incredibly helpful for understanding my overall health. So for example, if I see that my recovery hasn't been optimal, could be because of my sleep or where I'm at in my cycle, I can adjust the intensity of my workouts. And if I notice I've been less active throughout the day because I've been sitting behind my computer or something, it's been a great motivator to get my movement in and hit my 10K steps a day. The main feature that I use the ring for is the cycle tracking. It's my favorite part because our bodies are constantly giving us signals, and having those insights help me better understand my cycle. If I'm in my luteal phase, I can identify my ovulation and feel so much more connected to what my body actually needs. Someone who I also look up to, Jessie J, she's a British singer-songwriter. She has shared a lot around her miscarriages and fertility, and I am so happy that we're opening up these conversations around female health because I think it's so important. So yeah, I absolutely love the ring. Also, compared to a lot of other brands, Ringcon does not have a extra subscription. You just have the app with your ring, and it's just so incredibly helpful, and I can just swipe through every day and see where I'm at exactly. Number 3 is the importance of a healthy diet. I cannot emphasize this enough, how important healthy eating is in this whole process. Max and I really focus on lowering down inflammation, so we're really turning to eating a lot of whole foods, minimizing packaged foods, sugars, alcohol, things like that, and really focus on eating enough protein and also a a lot of healthy fats. So a lot of olive oil, a lot of avocado, like female hormones love healthy fats. I have also been adding a lot of seeds like sunflower seeds, hemp seeds, and things like that to my yogurt bowls. And then also I do full fat dairy. So I will do full fat Greek yogurt, whole milk, things like that, because all those healthy fats, I mean, this obviously if you can tolerate dairy, I can. I also really focus on a lot of hydration, having electrolytes, and lowering down my caffeine intake. I have one caffeinated beverage, like a coffee or a matcha a day, maybe a little much in the afternoon, but I try to really minimize this because caffeine really spikes like your cortisol in your body, so I really try to lower that down. Also, eating on very regular times and eating enough. I've been increasing my complex carbs and kind of overall nutrition intake a little bit because your body just really needs it. Also, not skipping out on breakfast and having a high protein breakfast is so important. When it comes to actually the meals, I have always focused on this, creating blood sugar friendly meals, and the reason for that is I've struggled with PCOS, so having blood sugar friendly meals keeps your energy levels in check, keeps you satisfied, and you have way less cravings, and it's really important for fertility and for healthy hormones and healthy health. I know that was like a handful, but if you ever need like inspiration on certain recipes and stuff, I share a lot on Instagram and then obviously here on YouTube as well. And usually even the desserts I make, they're usually blood sugar friendly, but I've definitely been eating a lot of full fat, a lot of protein, adding some more complex carbs, and just really focusing on a clean, healthy diet. Number 4 is movement. I actually have a couple thoughts on movement. Obviously, moving your body overall is so important for your overall health. I have been implementing strength training for my hormones because when you do strength training, you improve your muscle mass, and when you improve your muscle mass, it is really good for healthy estrogen, which your body needs for pregnancy and prep. So I do a split between Pilates, like low impact, and then also strength training. I have been working out a lot less. I think a lot of people think I work out like 5-6 times a week and I'm like sweating away for an hour in the gym. That is far from reality. I currently work out maybe 3 to 4 times a week, a lot more intentional, a little less stress, because sometimes when you train a lot or overtrain, your body can see that actually as a big stressor rather than doing something beneficial for your body. So I've been lowering down my training days and taking more time for the recovery for that. Okay, my camera just died. I am just gonna continue right here on a different angle while my camera is also in the charger. I hope it works. The 5th one is sleep. Sleep is truly the foundation of everything. Once you sleep, you have way more energy to move your body. You have way less craving. It's gonna be so much easier to eat healthy. And obviously when we sleep, we have time to recover our body. I really try to get at least 7.5. 8+ would be most ideal. And I really notice it's truly what I do everything before or at night. Like the chances of me waking up early if I go to bed late is absolutely 0. So I really try to implement like an unwinding routine where I turn off my phone, I make a nice little mint tea or some like warm beverage. I feel that always like really slows me down. Like I kind of like really romanticize like my evening in a way that it puts me in a state of relaxation and wanting to go to bed. So I do that every single night, and I try to unwind like 45 minutes before I go to bed, like taking a shower. I need to take a shower before I get into the bed as well. I also take like magnesium at night that helps support with muscle relaxation, with recovery, and also sleep. And talking about supplementations, that was actually going to be the next one. I have been adding different types of supplements. Of course, the ones that feel very personal to me based on my blood work, but then also a prenatal, super important. There's vitamin D in there, folic acid. I've also been taking QO10. Max is also taking that, by the way. He's also up his supplement game. I'm taking glutathione to detoxify my liver as well. And then I also take omega-3 because fish oil, again, the healthy fat, and omega-3 is so important for female hormones. A lot of prenatals do not have like omega-3s in it because it's quite a big like capsule usually. But I take that as an addition to my prenatal. And even when you are prepping your body like 6 months before, a year before, it's already really great to immediately start taking a prenatal. And then also talking about folic acid, the next one is get your testing done before. Max and I started off with a genetic test. This is pretty common to see what you're like with your partner genetically, and if there's any occurrence of, you know, having any abnormalities. You can usually just do that with your doctor or order like a package thing online. Second, this was actually something that nobody really told me, that was more out of own research, is getting tested for the MHTFR gene. This is a gene that a lot of, or a big part of the population has. I think it's between like 40 and 60%. Don't quote me on it. But basically when you have this gene, you're actually not really able to absorb folic acid properly. This is actually really important because folic acid is really important for the brain development of the baby. So if you can't absorb it, you can be taking folic acid, but it's not really doing anything. So definitely something to test for. I just added that into my blood work, and I wish someone had told me sooner, honestly. The third one, I also did like a vaginal microbiome test. I just ordered this online, did it at home and sent it in, because same as like your gut, you want to ensure that your vaginal microbiome is all healthy and in check, and just, you know, ready to brew a baby there. Then I want to talk about some of the treatments that I have been doing. I have been loving acupuncture. It's something that I already was doing prior for my irregular periods. I feel it's been really, really helping. I truly believe between the combination of Western medicine and Chinese medicine, I think there's so much we can learn from a Chinese medicine perspective. So I usually do like once a month acupuncture, and it really helps with the energies into your body and like realigning things with that Chinese medicine type of approach. Some other things, I am really trying to stay away from cold, so no cold plunges. Keeping the womb very warm, keeping your feet nice and warm, I think is really important. And honestly, all of those little tips also just really help with your digestion. Sometimes in summer, obviously it's a little bit harder because when it's so hot, you just want to be in a cold shower or in a cold plunge or something. But it's something that I do kind of keep in mind when I go through my day-to-day. Then I want to talk about stress management. This is a really, really, really massive one. I really think that stress is one of the biggest causes of any health issue and like diseases and all of that. So being able to manage your stress is so important. I had to implement a couple tools. I really had to create more of a structured workflow because I'm a content creator. I own my own business, so my hours are so up to me that I end up working like 24/7. So I really had to set some boundaries in where I spend my time and also with who in some way. So this way I was kind of lowering down my workload a little bit and incorporating more time for joy and for rest and doing kind of nothing. As a high achiever, sometimes I feel I like always thrive on productivity. I always thrive on doing more. And I think now stepping more into a phase of being okay and actually enjoying times of not really needing to do anything, just taking more of a relaxed approach. And I feel stress management is always like so much easier to say than actually done, because often stress comes from external factors, and sometimes these external factors are things that we can't really control, like family or your job, career, or maybe it's like your friends or partners or money or whatever. So I definitely think that trying to find tools that do not maybe change that situation, but more change how you respond to it. So breathwork has been incredibly helpful for me. I love doing a couple minutes in the morning. I only do a couple of minutes because that is how I know I can stay consistent, because I find it sometimes hard to like implement in my life, but I know when I do 2 to 3 minutes a day and I stay consistent with it, it makes such a big difference. Like being able to change my physical state will change my mental state immediately. Also with kind of that stress management, another thing that I have absolutely no research on this, but this is just truly a feeling based, is stepping more into a feminine energy. I feel when I am in a very masculine energy of being very strict, routine driven, very pam pam pam, there is something that blocks me into that feminine flow of surrender and letting go and being out of control. Because that's another thing that I've really learned throughout this journey, is as much prep you can do and wanting to control everything, like truly a journey of pregnancy or getting pregnant is something that you can't really fully control, and you need to be able to surrender and let go. And for me, stepping more into that feminine energy has made that so much easier. So yeah, I don't really have a research in that. I actually do want to kind of dive into that, but I believe that that is a beneficial thing to do. And then the last thing I think is so underestimated but so important is focusing on joy and connection. They always say the healthiest people are not always the ones that maybe, you know, have the perfect nutrition, perfect movement and whatever, but that are people who have a strong community. And finding moments of joy with friends and family, partner, doing fun things, finding connection, I think is so important for your mental health and for your body. This is one of the reasons that I told Max, I was like, listen, I've kind of gone through the ringer the last few months. I want to have one more fun summer. Just really be out there, dance on the tables, be out in the bar and have fun. And just not really think about all of this. And then in the winter, we'll kind of like revisit. But this was something that I did very intentionally, and I just wanted to feel joy and connection before kind of stepping into this chapter. I'm not saying that you can't have that with this chapter at the same time. You totally can, but I just have had two kind of rough experiences, so I just want to make sure that I get that out of my system and do that now before I enter into the next kind of like phase and stuff. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If there's like any things that I'm still like pops up in my head. Oh yeah, eating a lot of eggs, by the way. Eggs have a lot of choline, so I also eat a ton of eggs. I've always loved eggs for breakfast, but now I'm doing like extra breakfast. I'm sure there's like gonna be a few things that are still going to pop up. I always share on my Instagram stories also a lot of kind of things that I do and take or adapt and stuff, so definitely follow me there. I am going to link my Ringcon ring down below as well. Absolutely love it. It looks so cute. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.